I've been meaning to do a review for TOEM since I picked it up and absolutely loved it in the Steam Christmas sales, but now it's made its way to PlayStation Plus, and if you're on PS Plus, you're already paying for this game, so you might as well download it anyway. This is now getting a much wider audience, and I know a lot of people with PS Plus games are like, oh, it's not even AAA. I don't think that kind of clientele is my audience per se, the kind of weirdness that I review. But if anyone's ever going to remove all of those pretenses and snobbishness around gaming and put it to one side and have a go at an indie adventure, TOEM is probably the best example of this in 2022 that the PlayStation Plus community would have. TOEM is an absolutely heartwarming and heartfelt adventure that is all around photography and chatting to people and solving puzzles. You start off as a character who is going off on a journey to experience the TOEM, which is a magical event that takes place at the top of a mountaintop, but you've got to get there first. Your mum sends you off on the adventure, armed with a camera, and the idea of this is that you can then take photos of all of the animals and the fauna and flora around you and all of the different quirky characters that inhabit the different towns that you visit on your way towards the mountain. In order to get from town to town, you have to complete various different missions to earn bus stamps. Once you get a certain amount of bus stamps by completing all of these tasks, you'll then be able to hitch the ride on the bus to the next town and continue on. But all of these kind of missions are slightly interconnected. All of them require camera usage pretty much, and the different little things that you pick up and add-ons that you get along the way. Initially, you'll be wandering around this monochromatic hand-drawn environment that's isometric, slightly like Paper Mario, but not at the same time because it is in a 3D environment. It's a weird kind of mixture of the two. But what you'll be doing is hitting, I was playing for the footage here on the PS5 version, triangle on the controller so that it can whip out your camera, and then you start to kind of pan around, and it goes from isometric to feeling very 3D as you move around. You can change the focus, you can flip to selfie mode so that you've got yourself kind of in there as well, and you can change your faces and equip with lots of various different hats, eyes, glasses, shoes, and all different types of things to kind of dress yourself as you look. Later on, you'll unlock filters for your photos, the ability to get a tripod so that you can stand it somewhere and then go back and kind of take photos of yourself in the frame. And it's left up to you to just explore all of these different areas, chat to the people and get missions, but you complete everything at your own time and pace. Half of the fun of TOEM is wandering off and just taking weird and wonderful photos of things that are happening around you, whether that's furballs, sheep kind of like wandering around on a mountain, goats singing on a mountain, or flies or mice kind of running around a cafe or something like that, or putting the tripod up in certain areas and standing inside, like at the seaside where you get the cardboard cutouts where you can kind of stick your head through and then your head's on someone else's body. There's loads of those throughout the game as well that you can just muck about with, or you can photograph yourself with the NPCs. As the NPCs give you various different challenges, you'll need to go and find certain things and photograph them and bring them back to them. But it's entirely up to you, the pace that you do that, and you mix and match it with other things that you find exciting and fun and that you want to take photos of as you go. All of this requires a really simple to understand and easy to grasp but very flexible camera system, and they absolutely nail it in TOEM. It's so simple and intuitive to just take photos, put them into your album. You can keep 256 of them, I think, inside the actual photo album themselves. But if you take photos of various different animals, they get added to the encyclopedia. You can take viewpoints of like key locations, and that gets added on separately as well. So you can really just have fun filling up your album with loads of kinds of weird snaps. You can name them. And then also really cool is that as you get to key points either at your house or in different locations, you can then frame them so that they then become part of the world that you build up around you. All of this comes together in a really quite unassuming but personal way, in that you're decorating the world around you with your personal items, belongings and experiences to make your experience through TOEM unique and personalised to you. And it's subtle, but it does send home that message of going on a personal, almost spiritual journey in a way, so that you end up at this kind of end place experiencing something quite cool and unique, and a little bit humbling potentially, so that you can kind of go, oh yeah, that was a cool experience, enough, and away you go. Plays beautifully, excellent lo-fi beats to chill to soundtrack going on in the background too, of which you can flip around different cassettes in game and kind of change the music around as you see fit. And some of the puzzles don't fall for break necessarily, but some of them are quite interesting and unique in that, like picking up bits of the soundtrack and using that for triggering off a certain puzzle, alongside just generally taking photos using your camera in lots of different ways, like setting up a tripod and hiding so that you can see monsters that will only come out when it's like quiet and no one's around, that kind of thing. I was forever just entranced and found this infinitely playable. It's one of those games where it takes about 4 hours to complete, but you get so engrossed in it because it's constantly drip feeding new tiny quests in front of you that you just go, oh, next area, oh, next area, oh, next thing. And then before you know it, you're like 3-4 hours down. You're thinking, oh, you know what, I might as well just finish it now. And that's what I found with TOEM. It was just so engrossing. Every time I play this, I get sucked into it, and then a couple of hours go by. Even having completed the game, I still come back to TOEM to just have a little muck about, taking photos in silly locations, doing silly poses in different areas. And I think that speaks volumes to the fact that TOEM is one of those games that you can just dip in and out of and enjoy just as a handcrafted and personalised photographic adventure. So yeah, 2 absolute thumbs up from me. Don't sleep on this if you're already on PS Plus, because you should just add it to your library and enjoy it anyway. Not sure if this is on Xbox Game Pass, but I picked this up on PC, and even though I've paid for this and then got it free on PlayStation Plus later, I'm still delighted I paid for it because it's worth the money. So yeah, glowing review. Take care, and happy snapping. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/Higher Plane Network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.